So definitely these ministers, these governors, this National Assembly, one day they will be out, you understand? And they will come to our own life, the suffering life. You understand? Even the president will come back to our life.
But isn't that the reason why a governor just wants to go back to the National Assembly, and then from the National Assembly wants to look for another position again? Because power intoxicates. And like they say, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. We'll begin this conversation taking our quote from Ronald Reagan. He once said, "Inflation is as violent as a mugger, as frightening as an armed robber, and as deadly as a hitman." Okay. My next one is from Ernest Hemingway. He once said, "The first panacea for a mismanaged nation is inflation of the currency. The second is war. Both bring a temporary prosperity, both bring a permanent run, but both are the refuge of political and economic opportunists." Okay, my next one will be from Vladimir Lenin, who once said, "The way to crush the bourgeoisie is to grind them between the milestones of taxation and inflation." I'm sure someone will say absolutely spot on. My last quote is from Milton Friedman, and he once said, "Inflation is taxation without legislation." Okay, now let's see how this quote relates to what we'll be discussing today. Very warm greetings and welcome to The Conversation. We're reaching you from KAFTAN's television studio here in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Annabelle Oji. Now, this morning we will be talking about Nigeria's inflation gone record high. We've seen how much the inflation has increased from 20 to over 27% at the moment. Food inflation, headline inflation, everything has gone record high. But then if you go to the markets, people are not even smiling at all. The employees are not smiling at all. What you have in your pocket is far different from what you can buy. When you go to the market to get something this morning, the next few hours, probably in the evening when you're going back again, it's a different price entirely. What exactly is not happening? Like people would say, which way Nigeria? Which way are we headed? What is the best way forward? How can we put our best foot forward? Now, today we'll be talking about a precipitous decline of our national currency compared with other global currencies. And like a particular headline gave this morning saying that the dollar actually, or the naira to the dollar, came out from 900 in August, and now today we're talking about over 1,000. And you just begin to wonder, when you go to the market, you want to get something, the next thing they will tell you, before now it was security. Insecurity is the reason why things are now expensive. But now, when you go to the market to buy something and go back again to see that it's more expensive, what they'll tell you is dollar don't rise, not be my fault. So what is the best way forward in all of this? My guest on the show today is Habib Gajo, who is a BDC operator. We'll be discussing Nigeria's inflation, gone record high, and also how all of this, both the fuel price and also the exchange rate, how it is affecting both the inflation and what we're seeing in the market. We'll kickstart this conversation after this time out. Let's go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue this conversation. And like I always say, because it's a Saturday morning, grab your seat with your cup of water or freshly made juice, or maybe pap and akara. That's cocoa and kose in the Hausa language, or in Igbo that says akara and akamu. And let's have this conversation with Habib Gajo. Welcome to The Conversation. Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is The Conversation. We're reaching you from KAFTAN's television studio here in the nation's capital, Abuja. Now we'll go straight to our conversation for today. And like I said earlier, my guest on the show today is Habib Gajo, who is a BDC operator, public affairs analyst. All right, let's welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you.
You're looking white on this Saturday morning.
Yes.
Great. Okay, so well, before we go straight to our conversation for today, let me ask you, because you're not even looking like the typical, let me use that slang they always use, may Nigeria not affect you, or may Nigeria not happen to you. You're not looking like Nigeria is happening to you. what is or how is Nigeria treating you, and what is the best way that you are handling the Nigeria's economy at the moment?
Yeah,
we will learn from you.
Nigeria is not treating all Nigerians well. Not me alone, all of us. Everybody is suffering. The economy is hard. Things are hard. Poverty is on the rise. Businesses are all down. Markets are all down. So there is a lot of inflation. Gas rose, PMS rose, electricity, the same thing. So all our energy sector is in bad shape. So we hope the government will put their acts together and work on the energy and agriculture. So
is it the energy and agriculture that is actually affecting the entire Nigeria economy?
Yeah, sure. Because no economy thrives without energy. Energy is the key to the economy, and also energy. People will be surprised to know that energy is a national security matter.
Explain that.
Good. You see, without energy, the whole country will go down. For example, now, Labour, when they were planning to go to strike, the energy sector, the electricity sector look at that, no.
They have to join forces.
They can't join.
Oh, okay.
They can't join because it's a national security matter.
But for that moment, a lot of people didn't have electricity at that moment, so we thought maybe they joined forces.
It's there in the constitution. That is why Nigeria is not selling, it is generation. You understand? It's only distribution to the consumers are in the hands of, but generation is
with the government.
Is with the government. Because if you want to ground the country, you can ground the country through electricity. You understand? In our constitution is there. Police, energy workers cannot go strike. Electricity workers cannot go strike. In 1980, I think it's in 1985, 1982, 83, they went on strike. They were arrested and prosecuted. They were jailed in this country. You understand? But if the federal government is not paying attention, is not doing what it's supposed to do, then definitely things will go out of hand. And this is what we are seeing. Last week, the energy, the electricity companies are saying that, look, we are owing federal government 190 billion from their ministries, quotas, offices, parastatals, and agencies. Are not paying. You understand? So these are the things. If government will pay them their money, we'll get more electricity. Distribution will be everywhere. And we will consume that electricity. But then when you come to diesel and PMS, diesel and kerosene were deregularized. You understand? But logistic issues, you understand? And the free fall of so many things in Nigeria made it so hard to get the kerosene and the diesel. The PMS, today we are seeing in the whole of this country. There is PMS, but any filling station you go, it's only 2 pumps are selling. The extreme ones, last 2 pumps are the ones selling. So
that's why you now see so much a long queue.
A long queue. You understand? That's a sabotage.
A sabotage from who?
From those who are responsible.
Who are those responsible? Are you referring to the retailers?
Well, they are part of it. The NNPCL is part of it, and the partial removal of subsidy is part of it.
Oh, you call it partial?
Yes, that's what the government told us. They said partial return of subsidy. You understand? So now government is taking the logistic part or fill in the gap. You understand? Because crude is high, and we don't produce, we don't refine, we import. You understand? So importation to the last to the pump, it will cost so 600 and before they said is 500 and is it 530 520 later in 2 weeks they make it 617 617. They saw the anger of Nigerians. They now maintain it. You understand? That's when they announce the partial return of subsidy, because the marketers are saying that look, it's no longer the price again. So if you remember, the GMD of the NNPCL told the whole Nigerians he borrowed $3 billion to support the foreign exchange. Yeah, to support the foreign exchange market. And lastly, we heard him saying that market force determine the price. How the market force determine? He said he don't know. He said he don't know. Quote and unquote. So he don't know how the market force drive the economy was driven. So we now reach to a level that the NNPC has to adopt some measures that we don't know, because there is no transparency, there is no accountability in the sector. It's one of the most corrupt sector in Nigeria. So they don't care to tell us again.
But that's a slander on the organization, though.
Yeah?
You're slandering on the organization, calling them one of the most corrupt. In fact, the most corrupt. That's what you said.
Yeah. Okay. It's one of the most. Let me say
that sounds like potato or 6 and half a dozen. Same difference.
Yes, because anything that lack transparency and accountability, then definitely you are entitled to assert that there is corruption.
Okay. All right. So because you've said how much the NNPC GMD said that he is not even aware of how market forces has actually determines price and all, and then we understand the fact that the current administration just appointed his ministers and those that should chair the both ministries, departments, and agencies, and those that were even some were changed, some were recycled, and all, and then most people actually thought that at that moment that will be the change of the situation. That is where you now start having the economy will start finding some breath. Well, now let me use President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's word. At least for the next few days, months, weeks, we should be seeing the economy start to breathe and not being suffocated. But with all that is happening, it looks like it keeps going deeper and deeper. We'll talk about the inflation, which has gone record high to over 27%. That's like the most we've seen in years.
Yes.
And I recall when I was having that particular program called Business Weekly, when we always talk about inflation at 17%, at 10%, at 19%, we thought that was the worst we could ever see. But now seeing 27%, it's like off the roof.
Yes.
But now, before we talk about the inflation gone record high, let's talk about the administration and the foremen or the people at the helms of affair, that the helmsmen that he appointed, especially in the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Labor, in agriculture and all power, all of them. What exactly does it actually mean that they've not started working, or Nigerians should wait, things will happen or change soon?
Yeah, well, you have said so many things, but let me put it in this perspective so that you see, there is some ministries, they are more like one ministries, almost 4 of them. You understand?
Okay, so are you going to mention the names?
Yeah. Like Ministry of Works, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Water Resources. All these ministries, they are doing the same work.
How so?
Yes, because everything's centered on the funding, construction, and the operations of the works. You understand? For example, Ministry of Works. Okay, it's Ministry of Works and Housing.
Okay.
Now, if a Minister of Water Resources want to construct dam, it's through Ministry of Works. If Ministry of Works want to construct a road, it has to go to Ministry of Finance. You understand? And Ministry of Finance has a coordinating minister.
That's what I was going to say, that at least he has a coordinating ministry too.
Yes. So the best thing to do, that is why we said the ministers are too much. There are many.
Is that the problem?
We don't need 48 ministers. Yeah, it's one of the problems, because they don't have synergy. They don't work together. Everybody feel like he's a minister, he's powerful, he's this, he's that, and this thing is in my ministry, so nobody will do it, I will do it. No, you are working for the country. You are appointed to administer a ministry. So if all this ministry will coordinate themselves, have synergy to work together, you understand, we will see development, we will see changes. It happens during Obasanjo regime. A Minister of Water Resources constructed 109 dams. Construction and rehabilitation. In fact, he was even elected as Minister of World Water Resources. You understand? So at that time, things are good. The farms are getting the water. The soil is wet. The land is green. You know, we are seeing a lot of things. We harvest so many. You understand? Food are cheap and so on and so forth. You understand? So it's because they work together with Ministry of Works. Then, you understand? So these are the things. So
you are indirectly saying that during the President Muhammadu Buhari, former President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, they had more synergy than what you have currently. Is that what you're referring to?
No. You see, the whole of Buhari's 8 years is disaster. There is no synergy. We have seen the impunity of his ministers. Let's do some small check on Ministry of Works, Ministry of Power, Works, and Housing. Was supervised by one minister. And nothing was achieved. The Mambila Power, we have not seen anything. Nothing has been done. You understand? We have seen in Baru Port, nothing has happened. We have seen our roads, they are still uncompleted. You understand? We have seen even the so-called Niger bridge that link east to, you understand, is still uncompleted because it's only one phase. The second phase has not been done. So these are the things. So when Buhari came back in 2019, he now split and appoint somebody as Minister of Power. The rest lies on the former Minister Babatunde Raji Fashola, and they keep having conflict. That the Minister of Power has to resign, and somebody was appointed. So these are the things that we are saying. That is why we elect a leader come from a political party, you understand, and to head our government so that we will have say, you understand. Even if the opposition lack voice, then the party people that the government, the party in government will say it.
Okay, sorry, I have to, let me butt in there, but then let's divert a little bit before we return back to what we're discussing, because you talked about the opposition, you talked about the political parties and how the people have been elected through those political parties. I saw a report this morning coming from the former vice president and presidential candidate of the PDP, that's Atiku Abubakar, who said that the opposition parties should join forces so as to fight the ruling party. Is that putting our best foot forward? Is that any way to go at all?
Yes, that's how it is, and that's how it's supposed to do.
So that means we're going back to two-party system and not multi-party system again. Yeah. Is that what it should be?
You see, the two-party is multi-party. It's only one party that is.
We should have more than two. That's what we've all been agitating for.
No, you see, it starts from two number. The multi-party system start with two number, 3, 4. It depends on the gladiators or the population and so on. If you take most of the advanced countries that practice democracy, you will see is two-party.
They're doing very well.
They're doing very well. One is even a state party. If you go to France, there is a state party that they call far right, you understand, and the opposition, they call them left. You understand? So these are the democratic system, you understand. It's one of the democratic tenets, you understand, to be an opposition. The opposition is meant to check the government in power, the ruling party, you understand. Some government, after state party, they also have independent candidacy. You understand?
But do you see this as check and balances or political vendetta?
No, it's check and balance. Because all of us are living here in Nigeria. Annabelle, let me tell you something. There is an arrogant minister in Nigeria, a former minister in Nigeria. He was very arrogant, very rude. Today, he drive himself and he joined the queue after he has served finished. After all what he did.
Are you going to mention name?
I will not mention name, but I saw him buying fuel in the queue. You understand?
So he's back to this our struggle.
Yes. So definitely these ministers, these governors, this National Assembly, one day they will be out, you understand? And they will come to our own life, the suffering life. You understand? Even the president will come back to our life.
But isn't that the reason why a governor just wants to go back to the National Assembly, and then from the National Assembly wants to look for another position again? Because power intoxicates. And like they say, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts. Absolutely.
You understand? So that is why they don't want to leave government, because they don't pay house rent. You understand? They don't pay for their drivers. They don't fuel their cars. They don't buy gas. They don't buy diesel to power their generator. They don't.
You don't stand on the queue.
They don't have police to escort them. They don't have. You understand? All those things, they will lose it. so they don't want to lose it. So they will go to the National Assembly and continue what they have been enjoying as a governor. That is why most of them are doing allocating pension to themselves. You understand? It's corruption. You understand? They are corrupt. That is why there is governors that left, like Balarabe Musa, like Jakonde. I saw Jakonde, I think 5 years ago. The car he was using when he was a governor in Lagos State is still the same car he is using. You understand? So after the program, he went to go and the car refused to start. I think it's the battery. So people start, bring battery, this, that. Then a deputy governor of Lagos State then came and said, Your Excellency, you need to change this car. He said, no. Even when I was a governor, I did not use government vehicle. I still use my own car. You understand? So he continued his life. He's contented. He's happy. You understand? Nobody will go to his house and harass him. Nobody will see him on the road and harass him. We saw later Abubakar Rimi, when he was a governor, he don't use sarin escort and so on, all this. He go alone. And nothing happened. And when he was defeated in the second election, he is just like a continuation of his life. Nothing changes. So
just like you have some other lawmakers, we actually hope that we can get some that will come out to do the same thing, just like you have OGD, that's Otumba Gbenga Daniels, who at some point said his conscience will not allow him to continue to peak from the pension he is being paid for as a governor. But then I recall having a conversation with one of the federal commissioners of RAMFAC, that's Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, when he stated, I asked about the severance payments, the pensions that are being paid to former governors who have left their positions, and then senators and all, and then the excuse that they gave why they have the jumbo salaries, that's the word, that's the question, and then the excuse that they gave why they keep giving them that jumbo salaries is because he gave me the example that I'm just a normal citizen doing my own thing, going through my own life, but that lawmaker, he has trailer load of people who are looking up to him. So that's the reason, that's the justification that they gave. So they had to increase their salaries so that at least they can be able to give to other people. They don't bring them down. Is that even a good reason or enough reason for that jumbo salary? Habib Gajo. So
the lawmakers are being elected to go and share money. The lawmakers are being elected to make law for Nigeria, to enact law, to pass laws that will support us, the Nigerians, and support our economy and guarantee our own security. That's why we are electing National Assembly members. We elect executives in order to execute our works. You understand? To bring infrastructure, to bring development to the people. You understand? People should see dividend of democracy. Not sharing to 200, 500 to a large group of people. We have seen a senator from his penthouse was sharing money. People were, there is even stampede in his house on Saturday. That's not what we elect.
But you have to have the current Minister of Works who is supervising, and at some point we even saw a video where he was insulting one of the contractors and asked him to either refund the money or he should do the job. So you still have people amongst this administration too.
Yes, that's how it's supposed to be. You understand? Though the Minister of Works, Umahi, he's a workaholic. We have seen what he did in his state. You understand? So he cannot come Nigeria and lag behind. You understand? He's supposed to be in the forefront. So when I saw that, I was happy that, okay, now we have seen a new system, a new people. You understand?
All right.
A new style of governance. Unlike Buhari's government, nobody supervises anything. The only thing, they will invite the president to come and commission. Even the minister is not. They don't even invite the ministers to come and supervise and commission. So these are the things.
All right.
The more we abandon our developmental part of our economy, then definitely the economy will suffer. People will suffer. Nigeria will suffer.
All right, let's go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue our conversation from the Nigeria economy and the, like people would say, the bleeding economy. See you after this time out. Join us again. The Saudi Arabia cancelling passengers, over 200 of them. And I recall that even the current president traveled there. So we were supposed to have a bilateral agreement. So I just wonder that how come we go there and then you come back again, there's no business, like there's no bilateral business again. We don't want you. That's, in fact, it's just go back to sender. What exactly is the issue?
The airlines issue is a big scandal. You understand? It's so embarrassing that an airliner will secure everything, will fulfill all the agreements and everything, and will fly, and their passengers
are returned. Do you accept that excuse that they just give, saying that
in fact, Nigeria need to sanction Saudi Arabia? Obasanjo travel. If he is traveling, he will pack the den young Aliko Dangote, young Otedola, young Mike Adenugas, Elumelus, and Abdul Samad, and so on. Many of them, you understand? He will pack them, go. He will say, okay, go and meet so people. This is our own terms and condition.
Right.
If you are investing in our country, or if we are going to invest in their own country.
Right.
So those people will secure, those business people will secure investment, and they will come back. If they are coming back with a
investment. If you just joined us, this is The Conversation. We are reaching you from KAFTAN's television studio here in the nation's capital, Abuja. Now we'll go straight to our conversation for today. As we started talking about Nigeria's economy, then we diverted a little bit to administration and politics and governance. And my guest on the show today is Habib Gajo, who is a BDC operator and public affairs analyst. Okay, before we went on that break, we've actually talked on the economy, then we diverted a little bit, but let's come back to a topic of discussion today. And the Guardian newspaper says currency depreciation and high energy cost worsen inflation outlook. And if you look into the picture story that they have there, they said the headline inflation from August, you have 25.8%. In September, you have 26.72%. In October, you have 27.33% at the moment. That's what we have now. Then you go to the food inflation, you have 29.34% in August. In September, 30.64%. And in October, now we have 31.52%. Talk about the exchange rate from the black market where you operate. You have from August, we had 900 naira to a dollar. In September, 975 naira to a dollar. And in October, 1,009 naira to a dollar. And then you talk about they talked about the fuel liter. That's 617 naira per liter. In fact, in some places, I was even saying in some places you go and then you buy it for 640, 650, even 700 naira per liter. And then they also talked about diesel, 1,200 naira per liter. We didn't even mention gas, which is another kettle of fish entirely. So let's talk about this rising inflation, how it keeps going up. I recall having a conversation with Professor Ken Ife during the Buhari administration, and then he said definitely we are looking forward to a time when our inflation will be single digits. And I told him I cannot wait to see that day. But we are looking at, we keep putting our telescope and waiting for that day when we'll have a single digit economy in inflation. But it keeps rising, and now we're talking about over 27%. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, let me quickly start with single digit. You know, former President Jonathan left the inflation rate at 7.2, 7.5% inflation rate. It's a single digit. From Jonathan, Buhari is just, let me put it, 8 years of 6 months, plus 6 months or 7 months. It's not far. We can correct it if we have a good leaders.
So that means all of this is a leadership problem.
It's a bad leadership. I will give you an example. Afghanistan was in war for more than 20-something years or 30-something years. Afghan dollar is one of the last currency on the table, I think, after Somalia and which country? So when the Taliban took over, just last year, they dollarized their market, their currency. You can't spend foreign currency in their own country. They don't accept, and it will surprise you. At that time, their foreign reserve was $7 billion. They don't manufacture anything. It's the poorest country. They don't have oil. They don't have gas. They depend on agriculture.
That means we're even at more advantage than them.
Yes. At that time, $1 is 190 Afghan dollar. So they reform their economy, they reform their foreign exchange. You understand? They put everything together to the extent that even United Nations, if United Nations want to pay or want to pay a project or sponsor a project, they have to carry dollar, you understand, and sell it to the government of Afghan central bank, you understand, and they now pay them with Afghan dollar, you understand, Afghanistan dollar, and spend it in Afghan dollar. Today, as we speak, Afghan dollar is one of the most rising currency in the world. Anything you want to do in Afghanistan, it must be with Afghan dollar. You can't see American dollar. You can't see European euro. You can't see Chinese yuan. You can't see any money in their banks, in their system, in their market, in their even if you want to invest, you must invest with their own currency. Today, Afghanistan is free. Today, dollar in Afghanistan is less than 110.20.
So because we place so much premium on the US dollar.
Yes.
But how is that the fault of the leadership?
Good. You see, the fault of the leadership is taking a bad decision. You understand? Collecting aids, borrowing, you understand? And lack of supervision of the economy. If you go to some countries even here, African countries, the government controls the whole of the economy. It's the only operation of the economy, of the market, that are with the people. And there is no investor that will come and invest in their own country. You can't bring your expatriate. You must employ 20, 40, 50, 60% of your employee must be from that country. But in Nigeria, a Chinese man will come to Nigeria with the name of investment. He will bring everything, his laborers, even laborers, they bring. You understand?
And then we pay them as expatriates.
Yes. We have our own companies in Nigeria, owned by Nigerians, our local investment, but controlled by foreigners. To cite some example, one of the most richest man in Africa and most richest man in Nigeria and so on, go and check it's all foreigners. The whole of the management are foreigners. Only few Nigerians.
But then there's this particular company. So, I'm trying not to mention name, but I might have to. Lastly, that they're also into construction, where they have their color is yellow and black. I don't want to mention their name. You always see them anytime you see their vehicle on the road. You just find out that it's a local company, not even an international one. But then you just want maybe 3-kilometer road that they are constructing or maintaining. It could take them forever. So isn't that the reason why most people just trust on the international or the expatriates instead of our own people? Because sometimes we are our own problem.
Yeah, you see, that is why I said it lies on the decision. You understand? When a government decides to do 1 kilometer road or 100 kilometer road, it must put all the emphasis on the project. You understand? On the construction. But when you award contract and abandon it, you understand?
No monitoring.
No monitoring, no evaluation, no supervision. You understand? Road will be completed. Nobody knows if the road is being completed because there are roads even here in FCT uncompleted, and some completed are still locked. We are not open to the motorists, to the citizen to enjoy the good infrastructure. I
remember the other time I actually did a report on my estate where before the former administration left, they just decided to repair the road half to an extent where probably when someone passes and then they would think that it's all good. And then I'm wondering, why did you decide to repair the road just halfway and leave the other part? So what happens to the other part? Like, you just begin to wonder, why are we our own problem?
Yes, we are a problem to ourselves because our leaders are also our own problem.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is that the excuse you're making?
Yes. Now, according to the Vanguard newspaper,
The Guardian.
The Guardian. You know, I like Guardian because they will break everything.
Yes, into bits and pieces.
Yes. Some of our interviews, I used to mention the inflation rate of first quarter and second quarter, and now we have entered the third quarter. It will surprise you. It will surprise the whole Nigerians that first quarter, there is no $1, $1, $1 naira investment, both foreign and local investment in Nigeria. In second quarter, you understand, it's only Ekiti State that record $20,000 investment. And it wasn't a foreign, it was a local investment. Out of 28 states, because they didn't capture Kano, they didn't capture Lagos, they didn't capture Port Harcourt and I think Anambra. The rest is zero. Foreign investment, second quarter and second quarter, zero inflow of either direct foreign investment or foreign investment. You know, direct foreign investment, they invest in cash. So it's zero. All those that are saying that, oh, devalue your currency, we will come, remove subsidy, harmonize this, we will come and invest. Nothing happened.
Oh, wow.
African presidents went G-Summit meeting. They didn't come back with anything. They came back empty. Nothing was achieved in that. United Nations General Assembly this year, nothing was achieved and nothing was brought to table. No economic bilateral agreement. We have not seen joint communique. We are coming to invest in Nigeria and so. We are focusing on this, we are focusing on that. You understand? We are investing in agriculture, we are investing in steel, we are investing in cocoa, we are investing in nothing. You understand? So throughout this year, nothing has been achieved by African leaders. You understand? So now, also Guardian put the inflation rate on food, energy.
They had headline inflation, they had energy, food, and also
food.
The naira to the dollar.
And to the dollar. I'll go to the dollar last. All this is centered, like I stated earlier from our conversation, that energy is the one that drives economy. Without energy, your economy is dead. So Nigerians are suffering to buy energy. Nigerians are suffering to use energy.
Oh, wow.
Nigerians are suffering to produce energy.
Oh, wow.
You understand? You know, small scale and medium enterprises business that's supposed to be an employer of labor, they can't afford energy because we don't have electricity, and they can't afford to buy diesel, and they can't afford to buy petrol to transport their workers. You understand? Their employee. SMEs, and there is SMEs, a small business.
And the MSMEs.
Yes, that operate within the community or inside our homes. That's the businesses in our homes, and that make impact. For example, a woman inside her house, she can do chin-chin, bones, egg rolls, and so on, plantain chips, and so. Some will make soap. You understand? Some will make so many things. Some will make zobo, kunu, and so on, tiger nut, and you understand? Some will make, and all these things require energy. You need to have refrigerator. You understand? You need to have electricity to power this thing. You understand? And when you come back to the agri part, all the ingredients that they will use in producing all those things. Flour is very expensive. Wheat, we can't afford it. Sugar is expensive. Oil is expensive. Egg, a crate now is more than 3,000. You understand? And so on and so forth. So if you look at a business, a home business that has a capital of 100,000 now need a capital of 500,000 to do that business, to continue with the business.
That same business.
Yes, that's the same business. That's how bad it is. That is why the inflation on food skyrocket to almost 37. Now, those who are frying akara on the street, you understand? Those who are frying yam, those yam and akara and dodo, potatoes and so on. Those who do indomie by the side and so on. This gas is very expensive. Wood is expensive. Charcoal is expensive. Oil is expensive. You can't afford a 4-liter King's oil or any type of oil. The minimum price is 9,000 to 15,000. So tell me, how will that business survive from that? When you go to the bank, there's supposed to be an LC, letter of credit. You understand? You don't need any collateral as a small scale or as a home business owner. You just use your account and borrow. Do your business and be paying. You understand? But today, even the borrowing, lending rate,
interest rate,
is over, I think, 2.2%. So a small business owner cannot afford to borrow in the bank. So it stagnates the economy completely. And the economy is our national security, is our oxygen, is our everything. That is why everybody is corrupt in one way or the other. Wherever you meet, you understand? In one way or the other, we are all corrupt. You understand? You may not know. You may not know this thing is bad. This thing is corruption. But you will do it because... And
there's no ignorance in law.
Yes, but because the economy push you to do that. The hardship push you to get your way. You understand? And getting your own way is through corrupt means.
Cutting corners.
Cutting corners. You understand? Now, when we come back to the last one, the foreign exchange. You see, there is a lot of reforms that the CBN promises. When the government came in power and started how to harmonize the whole price and have one single price of foreign exchange, they devalued the naira by floating the economy, and Nigerians accepted, hailed them, and clapped for them, and we are all happy.
Even the international bodies accepted it.
Everybody has
congratulated them.
Yes, congratulated Nigeria. I remember we were here with Habib Gajo.
Yes.
We were all happy and excited. I even forecasting, you understand, by the end of the year, we will see the dollar crashing, naira rising, and so all of the sudden, things start to change.
Oh, wow.
You understand? Things start to change, and that window of I&E window now has an issue. Now, the central bank reintroduce verification system, price verification system. Price verification system, some accepted it, but almost two sectors of the economy disagree. Like manufacturing, manufacturers disagree on verification system in their Form M. You understand? And Form M are the ones that are buying high dollar, like 100 million, 200 million, 300 million in first quarter. You understand? So they disagree on that verification. They said it will open another window that will eventually go back to a multiple prices. So they disagree, and even the energy companies also disagree.
Right.
You understand? So many disagree.
All
You
right.
understand? But if you look at, if we check the price verification, is a flexible.
That means you're endorsing it.
No, I'm not endorsing it.
Okay.
It's like a flexible that was introduced by the former governor of Central Bank, Emefiele, that created multiple price.
All right, Habib Gajo, let's leave Dian quickly. Our time is fast spent, but in 2 minutes, I'd like you to help us and analyze this, because now you talked about how this administration, or how we've actually gone to the UNGA summit this year, which did not yield anything, and then we also went to the G summit, which didn't yield anything. I've heard some people saying that it's just a waste of money and a waste of time, resources, and all. You can pack all ourselves and go there and only to come back with nothing. But then I also recall that we also had some talks with Dubai, and then at some point the Emirates airline was up, and then later again we heard the story that no, it's not up again, and there was this come see come star around it. Yes. But now you have the Saudi Arabia cancelling passengers, over 200 of them, and I recall that even the current president traveled there. So we were supposed to have a bilateral agreement. So I just wondered that how come we go there and then you come back again, there's no business, like there's no bilateral business again. We don't want you. That's, in fact, it's just go back to sender. What exactly is the issue? That's one on the side. And then secondly, we've seen how in some states this cash crunch looks like it's coming back again in one way or the other. You go to the bank, and then, in fact, a few days ago I went to the bank, and then they told me there's a specific amount I'm not allowed to collect again in a day, and then a week. So are we going back to cash crunch again since we're returning back, since the Yuletide season is coming? Help us in 2 minutes, please.
Yeah. First of all, the president travels without a template, you understand, or a manifest to the those conferences and summits. You understand, like G20 that held in India. The president or the government told us that they secure 3 billion investment of in oil and gas from Indian businessmen. They didn't come. We didn't hear from them, and there was no joint communication. We now later heard that he went to Dubai and he met with the Prince of Dubai, the King of Dubai in Abu Dhabi. They have agreed now airlines will start flying
from Nigeria to
you
Dubai.
Understand, and they'll start issuing visa, and that one also was denied from the Emirates. You understand? And at the same time, they are denying our own, and they are now issuing another communique with Armenia that they have accepted the Armenian condition. They will start issuing visa. They will start allowing Armenians to go to Dubai. You understand? The airlines issue is a big scandal. You understand? It's so embarrassing that an airliner will secure everything, will fulfill all the agreements and everything, and will fly, and their passengers
are returned.
Do
you accept that excuse that they just give, saying that
in fact Nigeria need to sanction Saudi Arabia? But unfortunately, our president went that. You see, that is why I said if you are traveling, you have to travel with experts.
Okay.
When he was going to Saudi Arabia, he traveled with experts. We have seen them in Riyadh. We have seen business people. We have seen investors. We have seen all our business tycoons there. You understand? But the issue is not African and Arab summit. It's an Arab and Arabian summit. So we are not part of it. You understand? If we will participate, we will participate as an observer. Yes. And the African, Arabian and African, Arab and African summit was cancelled. It's when our president landed, we had that. And he went with his national security advisor. Anywhere he's going with his national security advisor. So is these people not aware all these things are happening? When if Obasanjo travel, if he's traveling, he will pack the then young Aliko Dangote, young Otedola, young Mike Adenugas, Elumelus, and Abdul Samad, and so on. Many of them, you understand? He will pack them, go. He will say, okay, go and meet so people. This is our own terms and condition. If you are investing in our country, or if we are going to invest in their own country. So those people will secure, those business people will secure investment, and they will come back. If they are coming back, they are coming back with a
investment. So in one word, are we going back to cash crunch again? In one word?
Yes, we are going back.
Okay, let's leave it there. We'll continue next time again. Thank you, Habib Gajo. Always a pleasure having these conversations with you.
Thanks for having me.
Great.
All the time.
Awesome. All right, that's where we end this conversation with Habib Gajo. We've been talking about the state of the nation. We talked about the economy, politics, administration, governance. I'm sure you must have been rightly educated, entertained, and informed. I will see you next time. My name is Annabelle Oji. God bless you and yours, and God bless Nigeria.